That's
Okay,
great.
great. Now let's go. We have two more passages for this time. We'll go to Matthew 22:15.
This is all very important because we have to interpret all the ideas to
Yeah.
interpret scripture and the CTMU. So
Yes,
this is exactly
no,
what we're supposed to be doing.
Exactly. It's very important. And people have a lot of questions about this, and people are throwing scriptures all the time around without really having a good way to interpret them. And a lot of people really respond to those videos on the channel. Okay, so I'll read this. It's a little bit long, but I think I can get through it. Matthew 22, verse 15 to 22. Then the Pharisees went out and laid plans to trap him in his words. They sent their disciples to him along with the Herodians. Teacher, they said, we know that you are a man of integrity and that you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. You aren't swayed by others because you pay no attention to who they are. Tell us then, what is your opinion? Is it right to pay the imperial tax to Caesar or not? But Jesus, knowing their evil intent, said, you hypocrites, why are you trying to trap me? Show me the coin used for paying the tax. They brought him a denarius, and he asked them, whose image is this, and whose inscription? Caesar's, they replied. Then he said to them, so give back to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's. When they heard this, they were amazed, so they left him and went away.
Yeah, we've already discussed that in terms of money supply and what coinage actually represents. And see that the Pharisees were trying to entrap Jesus here in what would have been considered sedition. Okay, if the Romans had found out that Caesar said, don't pay the tax to Rome, the Romans would have come and arrested him and killed him on the spot. Okay, he challenged their authority, so they wanted to get rid of him. He challenged the authority of the Pharisees in particular, and they always wanted to get rid of him for that reason. The Pharisees, of course, were the people who actually, they were a little bit comparable to academics or lawyers or the people that run things, do most of the intellectual work justifying the government. In our society, those were the Pharisees and Sadducees, scribes in ancient Hebrew society, okay? And if Jesus had said, no, don't pay your tax, this would have allowed them to arrest him on a mere tax challenge. See, a very trivial thing. And he wouldn't have been able to finish what he was doing had that happened. So he had no choice but to somehow deflect this entrapment, okay?
So
because if he had, banality would have triumphed over spiritual value to the detriment of both God and man. Right. So he had to somehow get out of this trap.
So is he saying keep the material on a material level and keep God?
In a way, yes, but he's saying something a little bit like he said to the money changers, the ones that he drove out of the temple with a whip, okay? They had their own species of counterfeit spiritual money, okay? The terminally confined telesis called money, okay? He turned the table on the Pharisees here by, in effect, pointing out that just as money is fake telesis, just false value concretized and controlled by money monopolists, or as we call them, monopoly capitalists, okay? Caesar was a counterfeit. He was essentially a counterfeit who might as well take back his false coinage and let God rule the true telic economy.
Yes.
Okay, in other words, Caesar, being a power, an earthly power, had basically taken telesis, taken true utility, divine utility, generic utility of God, and taken that and confined it to the terminal realm using coinage. Okay, he was counterfeiting telesis. That's what all these people are doing. We need money, there's to a certain extent, but money it's misused, it's badly abused, and most of the people that coin it and that use it misuse the hell out of it. Okay, Caesar was just one of those people. So essentially what Jesus was saying is, Caesar is a counterfeiter. Now take this fake money, take this fake utility that he has created and give it back to him and tell him to stick it up his butt, okay? That's what Jesus did. He's not saying that taxation is good and you must pay your taxes. That is not what he was saying. He's saying the whole thing is a stinking scam, okay? So you might as well just take their scam money and give it back to them, okay? And tell them where to stick it, okay? Because we don't need it and we can do without it.